that I personally really like. It puts a smile on my face, but that probably tells you something about me, because it's also probably going to be unpopular or like, huh, what? Or I don't know, but it is to be mean. Okay, and I don't mean like forever and ever be mean and in all categories be mean and like actually create destruction in your own life that will continue in perpetuity. Not that kind of mean. And I don't mean be soul crushingly mean so that it actually has like negative effects on your soul because you were so mean or whatever. No, so understand what I mean. I mean to experience something, to do something that you might judge as mean and that you might not let yourself do because it's mean, or that you smile because it would be so fun, but it's also kind of mean or something like that. And it's not even because I'm advocating that meanness is the place to be. I think the whole reason meanness gets a bad rap is because we've experienced it on the receiving end and it's not fun or something. But there's so much else in the category of meanness that's not even about being mean to someone else. It's just like, oh, that would be mean or rotten or bitchy or something, and so we just don't do it. And sometimes it really wouldn't be that bad. It might even be more honest, or it might even be liberating, or it might even be beneficial for both folks. But that's the stuff I want you to explore. But really, since it's a game, all goes. Like, even if you want to do something that is soul-crushingly mean, I mean, if it's what you really want to do, I'm just saying that's not necessarily what I'm advocating for, but I am saying it is awesome to give yourself the freedom to do something mean, to give yourself the experience and the real feelings in your body of doing something mean, because it's almost like an experiment, where you're not really going to know the results until you try it, and you don't really learn the lesson or like understand, until you try it. Like, and it's an experience. I don't know. It's just like an experience of the other side of things. It's not the way that we typically entrain ourselves to behave. And there's great reasons for that. That's why I'm saying I don't really advocate this like all the way, all the time. But when you jump in and allow yourself to have an experience that is counter to what you typically do, or counter to what you typically, allow yourself to do, counter to what life typically or society typically expects from you, or the rules, when we do something that is sort of against the rules of society, of politeness, of niceness, like being mean a little bit, that is a liberating thing. It is an information packed kind of thing. It gives you a lot of feedback. It's like, wow, how did that feel? Did it feel really good? Did you realize it wasn't as bad as you thought? Did it feel really horrible? Does that just like strengthen your resolve to not be mean? Did it feel like you need to do some things like this more, or that you don't give enough energy and space to allowing yourself to be free, and that in fact you are very mean to yourself all the time by holding everything in, and in being a little mean to the other person, you kind of saw reflectively, a reflection of the meanness you've been inflicting on yourself by not letting yourself be X, Y, or Z. A little bit bitchy, or, whatever, angry, or too honest, or, whatever, that is going to fall in that. Probably when I think of mean, I'm thinking it's going to start touching on those particular areas. Like, do I let myself sometimes be real honest or blunt, or do I let myself be bitchy if I want to, be in a bad mood? Do I just kind of like own it and let it fly? Do I trust my relationships around me? Do I trust myself to like let people know, like, yeah, I'm just mean today, or, you know, yeah, that was mean, but like I am, or right, I'm feeling that right now, or do I trust myself to repair later, or my friendships, you know? So all of it, like I said, is it brings up good food for thought. It brings up an experience that shows you and lets you feel things that obviously, if you're not typically walking around being mean, and that you may be like, I do it all the time. Okay, cool. Well, then guess what? You know, you get to be you today. But yeah, it gives you this other flavor to experience and to think about. Like, all right, do I like that flavor? Do I not? Do I like some aspects? Do I not like others? What do I recognize in this flavor that is familiar to me and stuff that I do want in my life? What do I recognize in the flavor that are not things that I want? You know, like I said, are you being mean to you? I feel like that's what we do the most often. So anyways, see what you feel about this whole be mean or do something mean. Just do something mean at least once, at least for one day. It doesn't have, but you could try a couple and start to play with your definition of mean. I feel like that's another really important thing this calls into focus. Like, what is my definition of mean? Would that be mean? Would that be mean? It makes you take a look at it. Like, what could I actually do that fits into the parameters that I'm actually okay with? Or what am I not okay with? And am I willing to do something that I'm not okay with? And, you know, what does that do? It works my willingness levels, you know, and why am I not willing? Is it just like my particular values and ethics? Or is it just like, I'm afraid that somebody will think I'm mean. I'm afraid somebody will say it. And then what will that mean? That I am mean forever and all time? Or does it mean that I just did one thing? Or I'm afraid of hurting other people's feelings? Or I'm afraid I'll lose friends? Or yeah, just, you know, it makes you think through all the stuff that we just kind of buckle down and keep as that normative response that we stick with because it's what you're supposed to. And sometimes, you know, just giving yourself an experience outside of that box, well, it's definitely fun and playful. And that's really our only goal is, you know, a little bit of fun, a little bit of playful. For me, the reason I laugh at this is because, you know, I kind of secretly wish I could say things a little more edgy sometimes, you know, be a little more mean. So this feels like liberating to me. But yeah, when we do things that are outside of that box, it stirs things up. It lets us see things from a different perspective, and it takes us out and lets us look in, and we start to realize things that we didn't exactly know before. That aside from the fact that it could be pretty fun.